There are moments in life when everything feels still, silent, unmoving. You've been praying, waiting, believing, and nothing seems to be shifting. But I came to tell you something today. Just because it's been quiet doesn't mean God hasn't been working. There is a dimension of God called suddenly. Suddenly doors open. Suddenly answers come. Suddenly healing manifests. Suddenly provision appears. Suddenly clarity breaks through confusion. You've been in a season of preparation, but now you are stepping into a season of manifestation. Suddenly follows preparation, not panic. We often think breakthrough is triggered by urgency, by emotional intensity, by how loudly we cry out when things feel delayed. But God does not respond to panic. He responds to positioning. Panic is rooted in fear, and fear clouds judgment, distorts vision, and causes you to move before you are ready. Preparation, however, is rooted in trust. It says, even if I don't see it yet, I believe something is forming for me. When you panic, you grasp. When you prepare, you grow. Panic will make you chase doors that were never assigned to you. Preparation will make you ready when the right door opens. Panic reacts to pressure. Preparation adapts under pressure. And what God releases suddenly requires a prepared container. If you are praying for influence, preparation looks like discipline in private. If you are praying for increase, preparation looks like stewardship over what you already have. If you are praying for elevation, preparation looks like humility, character development, and obedience when nobody is watching. God will not pour new wine into old wineskins. He develops your capacity before He delivers your promise. The reason some delays feel long is because preparation is deep. God is strengthening your mindset, refining your motives, correcting your habits, and aligning your heart. He is making sure that when the blessing arrives, it doesn't destroy you. He is ensuring that when the opportunity appears, you have the wisdom to sustain it. Suddenly is not random. It is the visible manifestation of invisible preparation. While you were consistent, while you were faithful, while you were patient, heaven was building something that matches the version of you that has been prepared. Alignment unlocks acceleration. Many people pray for speed, but heaven waits for synchronization. You can have talent without alignment and still feel stuck. You can have ambition without alignment and still experience resistance. Because acceleration in the Spirit is not about effort alone. It is about being in the right position. Alignment begins with your heart. When your desires begin to mirror God's will, friction decreases. When your motives are purified, momentum increases. Misalignment creates unnecessary battles. You find yourself pushing doors that were never meant for you, forcing relationships that were never assigned to you, striving in directions that drain you instead of develop you. But when alignment happens, things begin to flow. Opportunities meet preparation. Favor meets faithfulness. Provision meets obedience. What once felt heavy begins to move with grace. What once took years begins to shift in moments. Not because you manipulated the outcome, but because you adjusted your posture. Alignment also requires surrender. It means letting go of timelines you created. It means releasing pride that resists correction. It means trusting divine direction even when it challenges your comfort. Sometimes acceleration doesn't start with addition. It starts with subtraction. God removes distractions, unhealthy attachments, and outdated mindsets so your path becomes clear. When your thoughts align with truth, your words carry power. When your actions align with purpose, your steps gain speed. When your lifestyle aligns with calling, doors open without strain. Acceleration is not chaos. It is clarity in motion. It is what happens when your spirit, your decisions, and your discipline all move in the same direction, creating a rhythm that heaven can bless. Pressure is proof of promotion. When pressure increases in your life, it is easy to assume something is wrong. But often pressure is evidence that something greater is being formed within you. You do not experience new levels without new weight. Every elevation demands a stronger version of you, and strength is not built in comfort. Pressure exposes what is fragile and strengthens what is solid. It reveals cracks in your character, gaps in your discipline, and weaknesses in your mindset, not to shame you, but to refine you. Gold is purified by fire. Muscles grow through resistance. Diamonds are created under intense weight. The very thing that feels like it is crushing you may actually be constructing you. When God prepares to promote you, He allows you to face challenges that stretch your capacity. Greater responsibility requires greater maturity. Greater visibility requires greater integrity. Greater influence requires greater stability. Pressure develops endurance so that when the spotlight finds you, you don't fold under expectation. Pressure also shifts your dependence. It pushes you beyond self, reliance, and into deeper faith. It teaches you to pray with sincerity, to act with wisdom, and to stand firm when circumstances shake. It forces you to grow roots before you grow branches. Many people want the platform, but they resist the process. They desire the crown, but avoid the cross. Yet promotion without preparation leads to collapse. Pressure is the training ground where resilience is built, patience is formed, and confidence is tested. It is the environment where your old limitations are broken and your new capacity is established. Consistency carries the miracle. We often look for dramatic moments, explosive breakthroughs, and visible signs that something is shifting. But most miracles are not born in spectacle. They are formed in steady obedience. The supernatural often rides on the back of the disciplined. Consistency is choosing to show up when it feels ordinary. It is praying when you don't feel emotional. It is working when nobody applauds. It is believing when there is no evidence yet. Anyone can be passionate for a day. Anyone can be committed for a week. But transformation belongs to those who remain faithful over time. Miracles are sustained by patterns. A healthy marriage is built on consistent love. A strong body is shaped by consistent training. A powerful faith is developed by consistent devotion. You cannot live inconsistently and expect stable results. The breakthrough you desire is often hidden inside the habits you repeat. Consistency builds trust. Trust within yourself and trust with God. When you demonstrate faithfulness in small assignments, you prove your readiness for greater ones. When you steward little well, you create space for more. Every daily decision becomes a brick in the structure of your future. There will be days when nothing seems to change. The prayers feel repetitive. The effort feels unnoticed. The progress feels slow. But growth is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Seeds break underground long before they surface. Consistency strengthens character, sharpens skill, and deepens endurance. It eliminates excuses and silences doubt. It trains you to move by conviction rather than emotion. And when the moment of suddenly arrives, it will not overwhelm you because your consistent preparation has already built the capacity to sustain what once looked impossible. Release the old to receive the new. You cannot step into what's next while clinging to what was. Many people pray for fresh opportunities, new levels, and greater impact, but their hands are still tightly wrapped around past pain, expired relationships, outdated mindsets, and former identities. What you refuse to release will limit what you can receive. Letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom. Seasons change, and when they do, what once sustained you can start to suffocate you. The habits that protected you in one chapter may restrict you in another. The environment that nurtured you before may no longer stretch you now. Growth demands movement, and movement requires release. Sometimes the old is not sinful, just finished. It served its purpose. It taught its lesson. It carried you through a necessary stage. But if you try to live in yesterday's grace, you will miss today's instruction. God does not pour fresh oil into containers still filled with residue from the last season. There must be space for something new to settle. Releasing the old also means forgiving. You cannot carry bitterness into abundance. You cannot drag resentment into destiny. Emotional baggage weighs down spiritual progress. Freedom comes when you decide that your future matters more than your past wounds. It also means releasing old versions of yourself, the insecure you, the fearful you, the reactive you. Elevation demands evolution. As your calling grows, your character must grow with it. New levels require new thinking, new discipline, new courage. When you open your hands, you create room. Room for fresh vision. Room for deeper peace. Room for greater responsibility. Room for unexpected opportunity. What waits ahead cannot fit into a life crowded with what no longer belongs there. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Opportunities rarely send announcements before they arrive. They appear in moments that test whether you've been preparing or procrastinating. If you wait until the door opens to start developing yourself, you will always be one step behind the blessing you prayed for. Readiness is a lifestyle, not a reaction. It's waking up with discipline, even when there's no visible reward. It's sharpening your skills before anyone notices your talent. It's strengthening your faith before the storm shows up. Preparation done in private protects performance in public. When you stay ready, you move with confidence instead of scrambling with anxiety. You don't panic when the call comes. You don't hesitate when responsibility increases. You don't shrink when your name is mentioned in rooms you haven't entered yet, because you've already done the internal work. Readiness affects your mindset. It means thinking beyond where you are, managing your money like increase is coming, guarding your integrity like influence is near, speaking with vision even when circumstances look small. Your daily habits become prophetic acts of expectation. It also requires consistency in unseen seasons. Many people relax when nothing dramatic is happening. They coast when life feels stable. But readiness says every day matters. Every choice shapes capacity. Every routine builds resilience. You train like the opportunity is already scheduled. When you live ready, Sudden moments feel natural instead of overwhelming. You step into new spaces without losing balance. You carry new weight without collapsing. You embrace new visibility without compromising who you are. What surprises others feels like confirmation to you because you prepared long before the moment arrived. So now the question is not whether God can do it. The question is, are you ready when He does? You've heard the word. You've felt the stirring. You know deep inside that something is shifting. This is not hype. This is not emotion. This is alignment meeting timing. This is preparation meeting opportunity. This is pressure turning into promotion. Everything you've walked through was building you. Every delay was developing you. Every closed door was correcting your direction. Every season of silence was strengthening your spirit. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Nothing was meaningless. God was preparing your character for the weight of your calling. He was aligning your heart before accelerating your steps. He was teaching you consistency so you could sustain the miracle. He was asking you to release the old so you could receive the new. He was training you to stay ready so that when the moment arrived, you wouldn't miss it. And now, here you are, on the edge of suddenly. This is the moment to elevate your expectation, to clean your hands, to purify your motives, to strengthen your discipline, to forgive completely, to believe boldly, to move faithfully. Because when God says now, it will not need your manipulation. It will not require your panic. It will not depend on human approval. It will unfold with clarity, authority, and undeniable favor. Get ready in your spirit. Get ready in your habits. Get ready in your thinking. Get ready in your faith. The season of waiting has shaped you. The season of preparation has matured you. And the season of suddenly is about to reveal what heaven has been building all along. Gyo disu di di an ice air.